Welcome to the first episode of Signal Chain Stories, a podcast for musicians, artists and creators. My name is M Kundra and I'm very, very happy to co-host this podcast with the wonderful MORDIO. In this podcast, we'll be discussing the joy, the fun, but also the roadblocks and frustrations of the life as an artist. And yeah, this is the first episode, so we'll start very smooth. Florian, my friend, how are you doing? How was your day?
I'm good. I did some work today and now we're having our first session here and I hope getting some good conversation out for the audience.
Absolutely. That's the goal. Yeah. Same here. I was in the studio today and just did some studio work, production, worked on a remix and all the good stuff. So
nice.
That was really cool. But yeah, as you mentioned, this is the first episode of this podcast and we want to make this a regular thing, which I'm very excited about. You are very excited about too, which I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we just start it smooth and you just say who you are, how did you get where you are today, and what is your background as a musician?
Where I start?
Ages ago.
Yeah, calling MORDIO since the internet started. I think my first profile in, World of Warcraft or something was MORDIO with zeros, and I started from there with that name. It was just always, when I do something in the internet, that's the name. Then over the time, I started to be interested in making music and figure that out. And then I started to make music first with the guitar, actually, in a band, and just I think 7 years I played the guitar and I also played in some bands. Just local little events, sometimes nothing crazy, but I really like Nirvana, Radiohead, Massive Attack, stuff like this. And because of that, I wanted to get like a loop machine to get my own little loops going on. Like, I like the Radiohead, I always have like, hein, and then I get a groove starts on and yeah. It's like a bit experimental when you can loop stuff. It makes it, I don't know, hypnotic.
Yeah.
And then I went to get like loop machines, but I really fast realized that like Ableton license you get Ableton somehow and then you just have unlimited channels. So you just get an interface and it's cheaper. And you have unlimited channels and not just 4, So I went into that for guitar looping and voice looping. And then, the guitar went like far away. And I went.
When was that? How long was that ago?
I think when the guitar the first time went away, I was 19.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So now I'm 30, 31 next month. So yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a long time ago. This was like fresh start with Ableton. I end up there using then, like, of course, you start making some music, first production, like housey, minimal house. I don't know what I did there. Bass music from the UK was really interesting for me and cool sound design, so I tried to emulate that a bit. You just try and error, right? But then you put your first stuff on SoundCloud or something, and there we are again. I was using the name MORDIO. Mm-hmm. And then I started there. Actually, regular releasing sound till people found me, and then you make a podcast for them, and then you start getting a release on a VA, and then you're getting a first release in solo on like a label, and blah, 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 blah. At some point I went a bit stuck with not the patience, like the passion for music went lower, and the patience for, I want to do this, but like life, happen, like you need money, you need things, and you cannot like sit there for 8 hours a day and make just music, forget to eat. And
I know that too well. I think everyone can relate.
So you think, I'm smart, I have a skill there, so I will will be a mixing engineer or sound designer for films or games or something like this, or maybe I just make so good music that everyone will buy it. Oops. Spotify. Vinyl release. How it goes. Wait, this is not working. And then you're sitting there. How to make money with music? And you're like, okay. So I got lucky. With 21, I got some cash from my grandparents that like some person died, and you get some cash and. I was like, okay, wait, actually, maybe I can use that to get a professional certificate or something, and then like doing mixing, engineering, mastering or something like this. So I did that, and parallel still live the dream of someone will find me and then I will become a big producer. And so I did that for, I think, 6 years. And I did everything on Deutsche Pop with a little bit pre-time in SIE about audio. Like I did actually everything that the Deutsche Pop, what's the German version of SIE, offers in audio. So I learned everything about making music, learned everything about mixing, bands, recording bands. And then later, the last one was mastering, how to master music. And we learned that with I was making my my test in the end on a SSL duality, what is like a room for, I think, 48 channels or something like this. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So I learned it really properly, but then after all of this cool degree and I realized, wait, but I don't have a 40 channel at home. I don't have a recording studio. And now I learn how to be in a studio, record people professionally, but I don't have a studio in this power. So you're getting always in this loops where you're realizing, actually, wait. So a little bit of income started to come in over some releases, but there was you can buy, I don't know, some ice cream. Let's don't talk about Spotify incomes.
Oh God, no, please not. Let's move on.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, I know how to master stuff with outboard gear and everything. I can just, I don't know, get some of these devices and then try to make some analog masterings. Did that for a time, got some clients, did some mastering. But also there, you when you go more than $50 for a track, people are like, what? And how you want to survive then with taxes in Germany, you know? Yeah. So that was also a kind of limitless behavior again. And then I was like, okay, I want to do something different. I need to do something. But I was so demotivated in any form that I just started to make other jobs. I mean, of course you have to survive, right? And then I just realized maybe I just do music for myself. Fuck all this shit. And just go out and give this knowledge to the people, but I feel I'm done with music. And on that point, I started YouTube.
The turning point.
This is a point where we go on after, and I would say now I want to hear your story because I never hear that.
Yeah. You know what's funny? It's actually there's a lot of overlaps between the stories because I mean, you can already see it in the background. The guitars. It's actually, I also started playing guitar when I was 10, 11 years old or something. And then I joined when I was 14, my first band. And actually we played together for nearly 10 years. So a long, long time. In the same kind of we didn't have any changes in the band. And the cool stuff is it was alternative metal, so very different from what I do today. But I learned a ton in this time. We also played some little tours, some shows. We went to the studio, recorded stuff there. And this is when my interest, got awakened for audio and sound and all of that stuff. And then we split up when I was 24. And that was kind of tough because I suddenly didn't have any creative output. And I immediately felt very bad because there was just no way, because I didn't know. Of course I could play bass guitar at home, but it was just boring because it's just the plain bass guitar and nothing to add. Sometimes of course I put on songs, play along with them, but there's just cover songs then. So I went to do my own stuff, and same as you, I got into Ableton, or basically at first I think I started with Reaper or something, the free version, and then quickly upgraded to Ableton. And
I respect Reaper.
Same. It's a great tool. I like it, but I have moved, to be honest, very quickly away from it and kind of said, okay, I really dedicate all my time now to learn one tool, which is Ableton, and try to spend as much time as possible to learn that inside out. And in the beginning, same as you, basically, I just wanted to create some stuff to play along with my bass guitar, just have a drum loop going, some guitars, maybe record some stuff just for myself. And then I got more and more into electronic music and produced my first stuff. I think that was 2017, 2016, around that time. Then I moved on. I also had a little hip hop project going on with our rap music project with the singer of our band before, because he was also still into making music. And then I made some beats and he kind of like sang and rapped to it. It was very experimental, not really like the classic hip hop.
Same.
But you did the same? Really?
I did also. I
produced.
No, I was producing, and I produced a Syrian guy here from Berlin for a small time. Actually, I have like this weird video on my channel actually where we did like one music video for him.
I love that. I need to see that. Is it still
it's
public?
Still there.
Or is
it's
it
super
unlisted?
old in the archive somewhere.
Awesome.
I don't know.
I love the stuff. I love the old stuff. Like I also leave all of my old stuff still on YouTube. You can find all.
It's the way, right?
Exactly. Sometimes people are like, "Man, I found this from ages ago." Like, what the hell? I'm like, same for me. It's I listen to it and then it's wild. But yeah, from there I progressed, and then in 2020, actually, when the pandemic hit. So actually before that, 2019, I got a little bit out of music because, same as you, day job kicking in. I needed to commute to work quite a long time. So basically, my whole day was gone for just working, which was actually very horrible. And then, in 2020, the pandemic hit, and at the same time, I lost my job. So suddenly I had a lot of time, which at the beginning was very tough. But then I got the Electron Digitone, which was actually my first outboard synthesizer outside of Electron, and that opened a completely new world for me. I initially got it to be kind of like used complementary to Ableton, because at that time I was not a really big fan of Operator and how it works, and I wanted to find a way to get FM into it, and I loved the box and the design and wanted to check it out. But I think the first probably 3 years I've never used it together with kind of like Ableton just to record stuff coming out of it, but I used it standalone just to make music on it. And this is also how I started YouTube, actually. I then recorded just myself playing with that thing. And some people resonated with it, and I got some messages. I got active in forums, especially the Electronauts forum, where all the Electron nerds geek out about new gear, which is a great place to be. And then, I just got more and more into that and got more and more people. And then I got more and more questions, people asking me, how did you do this? How do you do that? How do you do this stuff? And then I thought, maybe I do YouTube. And I remember the first tutorial I made, I needed to find a way to, and it's probably the same for you, I needed to find a way to kind of like make a top-down shot. And I didn't have any gear or anything. So I had a very old phone at that time, but it was the only thing I had. And I had a microphone back from my radio days. I used to work for the radio, so microphone was not a problem, but the visuals were a problem. So I just took some books, basically put them on top of each other. Then I taped my phone to the books, and then kind of like I taped it in a way that the books slowly went over the Digitone, and then just I hoped that it didn't fall over, and it didn't. But the video quality is super, super shitty. But still the video got clicked because people just love to see how I do my sound design and all of that stuff. So there was kind of like the value in the video, which I think in the end is more important than that the visuals are crisp and the audio is nice. But this is then how I started that side, and from there it went until where I am today, just doing all sorts of different stuff, from playing live sets live in the real life as well as on live streams, doing live streams about music production, tutorials, posting music, releasing music. So getting into social media was and especially into YouTube was a really big door opener. And I think for you probably the same, right?
Absolutely. And like what I never said is like I was really into modular synthesizers. So I went really analog with all the equipment stuff, and I did just a video to like show a little bit these jams that I always have there alone as an output for 2020, right? And everyone was live streaming, and I just, it was part of because I was working for a live stream company in that time. And it was like good for the Corona times. I was like one of the only artists that have a job in my area, so I was like, whoo, lucky me. But then I did just like something like this in a recording. I got this like bed, and like I hang the GoPro from up, and the quality was terrible because it was a GoPro Hero 2, and like in this time, the 2020, I mean, there was like 5 out already, or we are 9 now, I think, so like super old EP footage with pixels, and like super moody studio, no idea about lighting and stuff, so you're just like, why it's a pixelated? It was really funny. Like you just start like randomly like this, right?
Yeah.
And the drive was there just to show a little bit what are you doing. And I think that's the thing that we have to overthink sometimes, because as an artist, I was extremely like this, like don't make pictures of me, don't put it social media, a booted phone, like I hated social media. Then I went into this because I need to, because people tell me I need to for getting reach and la la la. And then I got like a breakdown with all of this, deleted everything. Like now I have actually no social media anymore. But the only thing I have is YouTube. But the philosophy that I learned over this time was like, there is the internet and it's global. And you just find a platform that you like. And like then you put the effort into that platform. And we kind of subconscious choose YouTube because I don't know, for me personally it was like, I feel like I can better talk than like write. So definitely have to be audio. But like I didn't saw me making a podcast like now. You see where you go there. But
it's not that I dragged you into this.
Yeah, no, actually. But the funny fact was like I just started to make like recordings of my sessions. So I just jam and showed like, I felt like in my head was like I released a track, but with video. So I released my modular tracks, normally not, because I felt like only the good ones I record in stems and then I mix them, I can release as a release for a label. And then I realized, wait, I want to change this mindset, because like some people just would love this jam sessions as a track, but I don't want to release it like a track. So I wanted to find another format how I can release them, and that was just video for me. To also like, I like the community of YouTube more than some others, because of the long-term format. You have like long conversations more. I don't know. For me, the short-term content was a little bit like making me crazy. And I choose YouTube for that. And then also just like logical, like blank to say, it's like the second big search engine. So, and it's the same company. Even on Google, I think you get fined really fast because you do YouTube, and they use YouTube and Google. So they do everything that you can get fined. So that's the only algorithm that also don't change every month completely. That 2010 they changed something bigger. What was the start view? So like the start page that everyone sees is now custom and not for like who get the most clicks. So we don't have Justin Bieber there. We have like in Spotify.
Whatever you like, basically.
Then only what you like gets your attention. And that was the only algorithm that I realized, wait, that could work. All the others are actually just on the mass. So like you have to make something that goes on mass, or if you do underground stuff, just don't do it. And then I was like, okay, that makes sense. So YouTube. And then I tried it. And then like I got questions. Whoa, how you do this? Like blah, 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 blah questions. Which module you use? No. And then I just answered the questions in video format, because I felt like that's the way I communicate.
Yeah, that completely makes sense and resonates a lot. And I think that's probably a question that a lot of people are asking, kind of like why social media, basically the overarching question. Why should I even do it? Why should I bother as an artist, as a creator? And I think in the time that we're living in, it's just super important to get yourself out there. And what you said of being curious or kind of like really scared of showing your face on camera and stuff, honestly, for me, it was exactly the same. I'm definitely 100% introvert person. So for me, it's always when I get somewhere on camera and just do stuff, it's always something where I need to take a step and a little bit like and push myself. It's not something that comes natural to me. But the thing I realized doing social media is that you can learn it. Like even if you're an introvert person, you can learn of putting yourself out there. And the cool thing is, I think you can grow with it and learn with it, and just make an advantage out of it. Because then, as you said, you will realize that there in this little rabbit hole that you are into and think, I don't actually know in real life that many people who are having the same passions as I have. Like, for example, with you for hypnotic, gritty techno, then you suddenly realize, okay, on the internet, there's actually a bunch of people that share the exact same passion as I have.
and they're looking for it, and they're global.
Yeah.
So on the world, you're getting not just like your city where you play, like you're actually getting the full world. So the numbers change is drastically. Like when you think I know 50 people that would like my sound, when you go online, there will be like maybe 10,000 people like your sound. But they cannot find you because of algorithms. But then when you like share, I always think like there's this way as an artist that you can share your new music and then say, please like and subscribe and blah, 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 blah. Here, my new EP, take the, please, please, please. Like this kind of attitude. Or you share the idea, just like this. Hey, I have this amazing idea. What a cool idea. I want to share with you.
Yep.
Then the story, the problems, all that, how you get there, and then the outcome. So they get everything. The idea, the beginning of it, then the struggles also, and also what you learn from it. So for every artist, it could be like something helpful, like how I did this track, simple like that.
Absolutely.
And then like you release this EP or something that you was working on, and you share all the struggles or all the like production times you just recorded them. Then you share it, and people have much more value on top of it, because they know how you struggle for it. If you just release it like this, it's just another artist asking for clicks.
100%.
But when, we always learned that like social media works like this. You have to make this storytelling and branding and blah, blah, blah. But actually that's the workflow of that. Like you just share your struggles. The outcome is the release of your EP. Trust me, people will buy the music more when you share the struggles before to get there.
Absolutely.
And this I learned from YouTube. Like doing all of this, I learned actually how to share your art,
Yeah.
as an artist.
That's a wonderful statement, because I think I can 100% agree with that, because for me it was also thinking the same as you did, basically kind of like more thinking social media as something, so you have kind of like senders and receivers, right? There are these big accounts that have a big following, and they send stuff out, and then they have people following them and just receiving stuff. But that's actually not how it works. I think the biggest thing sometimes that's misunderstood about social media is the community aspect, because for me it's really a giving and taking. It's like not that kind of like myself, for example, as a creator, I'm not just sending, I'm receiving a lot. And one of the reasons when we started to think about this podcast and what we both wanted to do, we wanted to do something where we openly talk about our struggles, about our life, about the things every week that we are facing, that we are challenging, and all of that stuff. And I think exactly that is why people are following you and kind of like want to interact, because they learn something, but you can also learn a lot from them. Like all the different communities we have, be it on Discord, on YouTube, wherever, it's like a lot of sharing and taking and giving and taking. And this is for me how it works. We are all in this. We all share the same passion, and we're all a big community. And I think this is what I really love about this, and also where we want to go with our podcast.
Yes. I learned that also crazy here in Berlin, there's like so much club culture. And in the past, in the 90s, there was like this houses that are just empty, right? And like some people just went in, and then they realized, okay, we can make raves here, and they starting doing this, and they get in community and everything. And then like there's someone who's good with like making stuff with wood. So he's part of the team because he can make a fucking bar and all that stuff. So you just let them all in, and it's the community aspect. There was nothing about like gatekeeping or, hey, I'm cooler, I'm the DJ, or all that stuff that I hate.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, actually, when I share my knowledge and make more hypnotic techno producers, in my case, like more the sound designer producers, then I increase that this scene will not die in my hands, because I was a big dubstep fan, in the past, so the UK Bristol scene.
Cool.
And I was really liking that sound design and this like edge of what you can do with bass,
So the real dubstep, not the
real
dubstep.
I mean, I don't know the new stuff, but in the old days I was like,
honestly, I really like some of his new stuff.
A lot of people telling me that.
Yeah, I've seen him playing live, and to be honest, that was really impressive. I think I've never seen someone DJ a 4-channel DJ mixer, and I'm not a DJ. I don't have any knowledge about this, but the things that he mixed together there. I'm from Cologne, and we, for example, have Cologne Carnival's music, and he played that in a mix and made it sound good. And that's like really kind of like, I don't know, like very weird music, and he just played that in there, and it was super nice for the local community. People freaked out, and so yeah, I definitely respect him. But yeah, the old dubstep is definitely like the one that you described, the UK.
I was into that, and
yeah,
like
I love it too.
I felt just like how the industry melted a little bit, like put someone that have a face that you can market, and then like they call it king of dubstep, and there's like a subgenre called bro step or something like this. That's what Skrillex do, like a lot of highs, right? And dubstep was always like about the low end.
Yeah.
And when you want to play it on radio, it's cut it on 50 hertz or something. So like, it's not possible. Like they produce stuff on 20, 30 hertz. So you can just listen it on like a dub system, like this like pyramids of bass subwoofers.
Yeah, and that frequencies you also need to feel it, right? It's like meant to be felt in the club because...
I went on weekends to London and Bristol just for these parties. Yeah, I was a huge fan, and it kind of dies. Like my parties, I went less people, and then the parties shut down. I don't know, like life happened. But I remember in Munich, I was always on the reduction parties in Sunny Red. There was like a little party. There, it was super nice, super underground, nice bass music with a dub system. Small room and a dub system. It was crazy. But for me, it kind of died slowly, the scene. I don't know how it is now, but online I find like a re-rise kind of this now. But for me, it was like in my local areas, I didn't find so many parties more, and when they was empty. So just wanted to make that sure for techno, the deep techno that I liked. So I was like, wait, when you want to help that this not happen, you need more producers.
Very good point.
And I was like 15 years Ableton now. So I was like, okay, whatever question someone in the internet is like rough sometimes, when you say something and they will tell you when you're wrong. Yeah, of course, you think that. But actually, when you have like an idea that you know what you're doing there, in a way that someone asks you something about, like in my case, Ableton, I will find one way to maybe fix that. Then you should start a channel.
Oh yeah.
Totally, when you have something unique, and this is sometimes you can see that, but like if you use the Electron drum machine, they sell it like this, right? It's a drum machine, the Digitact.
No, it's a Digitone actually. It's their FM synthesizer, so it's a polyphonic 8-voice FM synth, but it can also make amazing drum sounds. But I also have the Digitact, which is a
I
think they call it drum machine sampler, but to be honest, it's so much more than that because it's just it can do so much more.
I know, and the thing is, like, I have a friend who used the Digitact, the selling drum machine, mono samples, right, as an ambient machine. And this is something, he's starting a channel soon. I will hit you up.
Immediate subscribe.
I pushed him to him, yeah.
Awesome.
He using this thing completely as like an ambient machine. And now he asking me kind of for video ideas, right? Because the only rules on YouTube that you have is like title and thumbnail. That's the only game you have to play. And the rest you do in the best case, because otherwise you just... I don't know, like people can smell when you fake stuff like kilometers, right?
That's true.
So if you are just you cannot be wrong. And I think that was the philosophy.
I love that philosophy because actually I have been going through a phase in my creator series where I realize, okay, I do some stuff only because I think I should be doing it, but not because I want to do it. And I could really feel that people did not really resonate with that. I fell into that trap of kind of like social media is telling you you need to post constantly, and this is like it gets you kind of like in a situation where I'm like, oh my god, I need to post multiple times a week, but I also need to produce my music, I need to prepare my live sets. How am I going to do that? And this brought me kind of like, or have made me lose a little bit focus, so to say, right? What you mentioned about you saying, okay, I do YouTube and I only do that, and I, excuse my French, don't give a shit about any other social media platforms. And that's something, honestly, that got me thinking already when, I mean, we also know us now a little time. And when you first told me that got me thinking. And actually, I'm all over the place. I'm doing I'm doing YouTube, then I'm doing TikTok, I'm doing Instagram, I'm doing Threads. It's like everywhere, but I can't really handle it anymore. Or the thing is, when you have so much stuff going on at the same time, you can't really focus all your energy and enjoy the thing that you like the most. And coming back to a circle around it, for me always was clear, it's YouTube, because I love, same as you, I love long form. I love live streams, to directly connect with an audience, to have immediate feedback from people, being able to talk to people, although it's just on chat, but still I can answer questions. I can get some new points of thinking. And that is for me currently a process where I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to manage that? But for me, it's already clear, okay, for the future onwards, from now on, my focus will absolutely be YouTube, besides my own music, like writing my music, on all of that stuff. But even that is perfectly aligned with YouTube, because I can record all of my jams as live performances and just post them there, which is something I can only do snippets of in the short form content. So yeah, circling back to that, I think your point about having a focus is so true, and something that is sometimes a little bit overlooked. So yeah, very great point.
The productivity part of it,
Mm-hmm.
It is, in the beginning, I think the hardest, right? When you start doing something like YouTube, or like you're focusing on one social media, you learn the rules a little bit, you have to figure out stuff. Of course, like I always say when people ask me why I should start, I would say, just start. This is the standard answer, I know, but it is really something you do on the side, and in the best case, you don't tell even your friends. Because they put you down, they're like, why? You're not a YouTuber, man. You should just DJ here in Berlin. I'm like, no, I think I want to connect to a community. I remember how a friend said that. That's true story here right now.
Okay.
He was kind of judging me for it, you know.
Yeah, but I can understand that. I think there's a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of I mean, I can't really understand that they say that, but I can understand the paradigm, because I always felt a little bit kind of like sometimes when you say I'm a musician and a creator, people perceive you differently than when you say you're a pure musician and you have this myth around you that you kind of like, I don't know, hide under a rock, don't post for half a year, and then come back with a fully flashed out album, and then you do a little bit of a mysterious promotion before you go on your world tour. And that's just not how it works. I mean, you need to start somewhere, right? Yeah, it's not exactly, not these days. It's not that you get signed by a label and they do all the promotion work for you and you can just be the artist. That's the, I would say, the good and bad about the internet, but for me more the good. The bad is kind of like, it's probably tougher, kind of like you don't have this immediate thing where once a label signs you, kind of like a lot of stuff is taken off your hands. But the great thing is that you can just start, as you said. I mean, it doesn't really matter where you are. You can just take your smartphone and do videos in very great quality. You can get a very cheap audio interface. Actually, I have one that goes from a line out directly to your iPhone, and then you can connect a microphone to that and the line out of your audio interface, and you have everything. Kind of like your audio is there. You can talk, all your music is audible, and you already have it in video. You just need to cut it down.
Yes.
That's it. It's so easy.
DaVinci Resolve is free. OBS is free for recording your screen. So like all of this is in your hands, and we have the possibility to use it. Like in the past where people got like Ableton and they have the possibility to record themselves. They don't need a mixing engineer and anything. It's just a new time. Now we have even AI to, I don't know, get ideas sometimes. When you have no idea for a video, you can just ask and then like getting an idea and think, okay, I do it my way, of course, but... It is. We have so many tools to do it now, and I think like the big major label thingies, they also just find you because you're out there. You know,
that's true.
They're not checking your. They don't write your DM.
Yeah,
very true. Through YouTube, you're getting your DMs, right? I mean, I guess, right?
Yeah, you get requests.
Having too many now.
Yeah, same here. And the good thing is, even if you're kind of like, as you say, if you put yourself out there, then people will see you and people will reach out to you. I think my recent bookings I got as a live act that are not related to my label and my collective, I all got through social media because people have seen me somewhere. It's not that people have seen me in real life, but they said, hey, I've seen this video. I really love that. Would you like to play here? Would you like to play there? And this is kind of like the best thing, because I don't want to sit down and write kind of like 1,000 emails to different venues and book gigs. That's like very
Please.
time-consuming and stuff. Please. I still do that from time to time because sometimes there are venues I really want to play at, so I just write to them.
It's smart.
But,
I couldn't, never. I was always like, feeling like you know it, but you're hoping that someone finds you.
Yeah.
And now with YouTube, people like the last gigs for the last 2 years coming from YouTube mainly, or like from long relations, But it is mainly that people find me over YouTube now. I mean, even the follower on YouTube are way more than all my music platforms. So it is just like, this is the traffic. You just focus on one traffic source. It can be even X if you are good in writing, It's just talking about music or something. I don't know. Or like whatever art you do. It's just finding a platform that works for you, sharing your struggles, your ideas, and also your tricks. So you give value to the community that is around the art. And then the stuff comes to you. And that's what I learned over social media, and in my case, YouTube, that actually you put yourself, when you do this regular, you put the effort for it, like releasing videos and stuff and doing all this for a long time. Of course, you have to sit there and do it for a longer period.
That's true.
But then you're having actually the possibility to put yourself in the situation that people are reaching out to you. And that's the dream of the artist, right?
Yeah, 100%. And what you say about kind of like building an audience is super true, because then people find you on YouTube, but then they might find your stuff elsewhere and listen to your music. And then you can connect. I mean, honestly, all the stuff that I do right now and all the amazing people I met along the way, I found through social media, including you. I mean, we also found us. I found your channel on YouTube. I started to watch you because I love your Ableton tutorials. And then, funny enough, Christoph, shout out at this stage.
Yo.
He is one of my Patreons, amazing dude.
Same here. He's also in my Patreons. He's really active.
Yeah, and then,
these people, I mean, like you connect to people that are so passionate. They're so passionate, and they're connecting everyone with everyone. Yeah. These people I want to meet.
That's fantastic. Yeah, exactly. And this is kind of like the beauty of the internet, because these people probably don't live around your door in real life. I mean, sometimes you can be lucky, and yes, that's true. And I mean, in Berlin, the chances are higher than somewhere else. I mean, here in Cologne, I have to say I'm very fortunate as well, being part of a very awesome local music scene. But that, again, to be honest, all the connections to the local music scene here in Cologne, I mean, it's also like, where do you start if you want to look out for that? And for me, it was social media. I connected with people, and then some people said, hey, we've heard your stuff on social media. That's super cool. By the way, I'm from Cologne too. Should we just hang out? Here's kind of like, I'm hosting this party or stuff. Do you want to come? And then you come, you talk to the people, you realize, actually amazing folks. And then you just start something with them. Like the whole Modular Madness thing that we are doing here in Cologne, the series. I got the people who are organizing it. We connected via Instagram, and now, we had a couple of events already together. And this is the beauty, that you over social media then find the people even in your city that you can then in real life connect with, and then just do the stuff with together. Yeah, and the beauty is for me most of the time that, like, as an artist, you have a really clear idea what you want to release as like music. When I went like as an artist, as a music artist, you're really picky with what you release. But then of course you don't release everything you do. So your portfolio stays quite small. And I still want to keep it like this, so it's really selected. But then you need like a portfolio somehow, right? To connect to people. And this is the magic of this YouTube channel also for me most of the time. I realized that this is like a huge portfolio of my skills and my knowledge. Because I share it there. So people can watch the videos and just know, okay, with who they're talking, Yeah, and that's something in a time of have a website and have a portfolio. We know this all from freelancing or whatever. Creator is not like a term that someone puts on them. You're a creator, not a consumer. You're not in the feed. You actually create the feed. And as an artist, I think that resonates with a lot of people. And I don't know. For me, it's always like important that I'm having a feed just with people that I'm already connected with. You know what I mean? Lovely. Like I admire, of course, but like I don't want to passively consume too much. I want to create and interact with other posts more. Like that makes sense more. Because you, in the end, create your own community, right? It's like you surround yourself with people that you either know and that you like, or people that you admire, and this is kind of like then becomes a little bit of a own creative space. 100% agree. I think that's great stuff.
It's this moment when you just realize, okay, I don't think someone will come to me. Maybe I do it myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like the internet is a place that became a spot for connection, and then became a spot of like feeds around, I don't know, 2011, 12. It went a bit too much. And I grew up in the internet. I really grew up in the internet.
Same.
And like, I think with like 12 or something, I was already on computers and I don't know, like working with them constantly. And I was always connected to randoms of the web and over like live chats and like community and questions, answers, forum. But when the feed started, you know, this unlimited doom reel, I realized a bit that like now everyone shows not more so much the real stuff, so more like, yeah, like you compress it into like something that you can present to the outside world. And with this, I feel like the ideas from the people went lower, you know, like just the output, why you want to put something in the internet to help someone is not more the output, you know, it's more like to show yourself off.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like I went to YouTube and not Instagram, because Instagram for me was personally, I can share, it's for pictures, you know, like you share these pictures with always the hope that someone click the link under it, in our case as music artists, right? So I felt like it's the wrong platform, because I need a platform that have audio integrated for sure. Like really technical, just saying, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so I only focus on this websites. And when you solve out, you're getting a little bit more focus. And then it's actually not so hard to have a schedule of, getting the algorithm to like you.
Yeah.
And the rest comes by itself.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point. And I have to say, I like short form content sometimes, because I think doing something creative in only, 60 seconds can be a nice challenge. And is
limitations are amazing.
It's great. And I've had a lot of fun doing it. But I'm thinking more and more of kind of like deprioritizing it for a bit, because what you said about being just not focused and doing too many things at the same time and also being overwhelmed by it, I resonate with that 100%, because it was the same for me sometimes, and I really struggled also with my mental health and kind of like keeping up with everything that was going on all the different platforms. 100% agree with you on that.
Artists are really sensible beings. They keep us sensible to create stuff that we didn't understand yet, but we have it somewhere here, right? But with this, the power of social media and all the stress that comes also with like, you are like too slow with everyone is posting, getting more followers than you. I don't know, for me, Instagram, I cut because I realized that I scroll and I feel bad after. Because personally, to be honest, I see people having better gigs than me. Like, I don't know, cool gigs around the world. And then I felt bad. Since I have not this app, I don't know about the gigs from others. And I just think about, I don't know, other things.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore in my head. So I'm like, don't putting myself down. But of course, every person is different. Some people can handle that super easy. I couldn't. Yeah. And I realized it after I deleted the app. And
that's a very good point. That's for me, comes a little bit back, dealing with that to the point that you said earlier, surrounding yourself with people that you're, I don't know, friends with, creators that you know, artists that you know. Because whenever I see them getting great gigs, I'm happy for them, because I love them, I support them 100%, and this is kind of like that thing. But still, honestly, it is a pressure, because sometimes you see even creators that you like, when you see them post multiple times a week, and then you're like, oh my god, how am I able to do this? How should I do that? I cannot even do one post a week. How am I able to do multiple ones a week, right? And this is then where it gets difficult for me, because then it's exactly what you mentioned. It gets this negative turn, and afterwards you feel the negativity. And I think you probably agree with me saying that negativity is the least thing you need as an artist. Like really, it just brings you down, it drains your energy, and it's not what we want.
No, you want to have a clear mind to create. And
absolutely. Yeah. Exactly. And that does not mean that negativity equals kind of like sadness and stuff. I think that definitely has room in creativity, absolutely. But it's really that's the stuff that drains your energy, that exhausts you mentally and makes you...
It holds you back.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It holds me back to post regular videos because I feel like, hey, other people making 3 in a day. How I could never do that. Yeah. So I will not starting a YouTube channel because I see people doing it 2 times a week. I will never do that. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you start and you have no social media and you're realizing, you can actually do it. You just have to learn it. It's not so hard anymore.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Super funny.
That's true. Yeah, I would say very good ending note for the first episode of this podcast.
Keep the time in mind. Yeah,
true. Absolutely. First episode of our Signal Chain Stories is done. Yeah. I think it was.
I didn't record.
He's talking. Oh, Jesus. Got me for a second.
I wanted to have that in the end. Sorry, I need to do that.
That's the classic joke, and you really got me. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a classic that happened. When you push recording, do a 1 hour Ableton session, and record everything, and then this happened.
Yeah, and you're like, man, all the good stuff is gone. No, we need to start all over again. No, the good thing is we can start with the second episode, which will probably be out 2 weeks after this first episode. And yeah, as always, we talked a lot about community. So let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you think about the things we discussed. We love to connect with all of you. And Florian, many thanks. It was an absolute blast and I can't wait really already to speak again in 2 weeks and see what we can discover there.
Milan, it was an absolutely pleasure.
Thank you, my friend. And have a great evening. The rest as well. Thanks for watching.
Nice week.
See you very soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Take care. Bye.